Alright, hey amazing people, this is Gav, and right now I'm Hrithik Dixit, which is a very, very pious name. This guy is Bikram, we are blunt bastards, and you're amazing people. You're listening to funniest news of the week. And let's start with, guess who? Ronaldo. Ronaldo says no to water. No, he says no to Coke. Not cocaine, he says yes to water. So I think it's about time I should also start saying no to Budweiser. No more Budweiser. Remove, I have too much Budweiser. Sorry Jack, I know you're expensive, but you gotta go. But unlike water, no, I'm not Ronaldo, I don't want water either. All I want to drink is sanitizer. That wasn't good, that was not good, but we gotta drink it. This is how you stop coronavirus. And then you can drink a lot of Corona, not Coca Cola. Alright, so this is what happened if you don't know about it. You can see the video we just put out there. But Portuguese superstar, like people don't know who Portuguese superstar Cristiano Ronaldo is, he removed Coke bottles placed in front of him at a post-match conference at the Euro Championships. This tiny little move allegedly cost the beverage giant Coca Cola $4 billion as their share price dropped from 56.1 to 55.22 within seconds of Ronaldo's naughty move that Pablo Escobar would be really, really proud of. And Coca Cola has issued a statement and they've been pretty cool about it. They said, everyone is entitled to their drink preferences. Coca-Cola, aren't you super cool as Corona? I mean, Corona, not Corona. Drink the drink, not the coronavirus. All right. So, Bikram, I've already removed all my drinks, including Jack Daniels and including water. So, I'm only drinking my hand sanitizer. I like it. What are you removing from your life?
So, since all the marketing is focused on Coke, so I'll remove Pepsi. You can see this is the one Pepsi bottle I have. I'm not showing it to the camera because it's dripping with water and it's falling on my laptop. So but I'll be moving it and replacing it with lassi.
Lassi! That's also promoting Amul. Amul are killing everyone, but they're creating jobs.
Concern is it's not vegan, so
I think it's vegan. Lassi is never vegan. You can't have vegan lassi. Next thing, what do you want? Vegan beef? Alright. So let's move on to Kanika Dhillon. And before I talk about this thing, let's be very clear. This is Kanika Dhillon and this is not Kanika Baby Doll Kapoor. Okay. People get confused between those two people. Now, she's a screenwriter. Even if you may not have heard of her. Her name is Kanika Dhillon. And she criticized Navjot Gulati for his tweet. Because he tweeted, apparently she said to him that if you want top billing as a screenwriter in a trailer, like a movie trailer, you need to marry in the production house. Kanika, he didn't even refer to it directly. I'm not sure what happened, but she got very upset because she's married to a producer and she gets a lot of movies to write and a lot of people think she might not be very good. She called him extremely sexist, misogynist. So if I read it, I'm quite shocked by your extremely sexist, misogynist, I like it when people write in uppercase, and bordering on idiotic comment. Neither will I list down, he didn't ask you to but neither will I list down my work cause your pea-sized brain will not be able to process a successful woman making it on her own. Nobody makes it on their own, buddy. Nobody, okay, including us. So she's very upset. This guy is like, okay, now I gotta say, at the end she says you remove the tweet, but she said have a good day. I think that's very classy, Kanika. Very, very classy. Even more classy than your straight hair. That's exactly what you did on your own. You didn't use any curlers, nothing. It just happened like this. Just the way my hair happened to be like this. Alright. So, oh, look at this guy. He's so cool. He's super cool. Let me tell you a little bit, people, if you don't know who this person is. Kanika Dhillon is a different person to Baby Doll, which I already said that. But I can vouch for the fact that Kanika Dhillon is a great, brilliant talent who has made everything on her own. One of the greatest mistakes of my life is to pay money and invest 1 week of my life in this goddamn book, this piece of shit that was written by Kanika Dhillon in 2011, the great Kanika Dhillon. I can assure you that all the writing work she has done has nothing to do with her being married to a producer or dating the producer before that or whatever the hell she knew Shah Rukh Khan. She gets work in Bollywood movies because she is a terrible, terrible writer and Bollywood loves terrible writers. Everyone in Bollywood's mantra is everybody knows. Good scripts ruin movies. Terrible scripts make great films and they make you blockbuster monies. Case in point, all of Salman Khan's films. So if you want to also ruin your life, please read this thing. You'll find out how to write bad literature and then you'll get movies. Screenwriter, you'll become a screenwriter on your own completely. Thanks, Kanika. You're an amazing person. Now I'm going to burn this thing. All right. Now, Salman Khan, we were talking about Salman Khan, so let's just talk about Salman Khan because we are great fans. There's a great news coming in. Salman Khan's new movie Bhaijaan is coming next Diwali instead of Eid. Apparently, this movie Bhaijaan was earlier was called and directed by Karan Johar, and it was called Kabhi Eid, Kabhi Diwali. But we don't have the real poster, so we're just using old Bhaijaan. I don't know what the fuck this movie was. We never actually look at the movie's name. We just look at Salman Khan. Now, Karan Johar dropped out of the project after Salman Khan insisted on great Kanika Dhillon to be the screenwriter. That's the controversy. That's the conspiracy theory. But we don't know. This is what happened. So, Bikram, any word on that from you? When I fix my amazing hair.
Yeah, I think we watched the last movie. I don't even remember the last name of the last movie right now, but that's how dedicated we are to Salman. And before this movie releases, as we planned on the last podcast, we'll go bare feet to his house and meet him, and probably we'll get casted in that movie as well. So yeah.
This is it. These people think we are ugly. Wait till you see our feet. All right. So this is what's going to happen. So now we're sticking to the movies and great movies. One of the greatest movies ever made, celebrated is 20 years of its launch. This movie is called Gadar, Ek Prem Katha. It has great actors. Her name I've completely forgotten. Her name was probably Amrita something. I have no idea. Something like that. But she was in one of those movies, Kal Ho Na Ho. Amisha Patel, right? Amisha Patel, yes. So not only Gadar is the greatest movie, let me clarify, ever in the history of it, Gadar is going to be the greatest movie ever made also. Nobody can make a movie which will be better than Gadar. It's impossible. Okay, now there's a little bit of conspiracy theory that's come out recently that Anil Sharma, who was he is not a curator and not a spot boy, he was the director. I know his name sounds like a spot boy, but Anil Sharma was the director of this movie Gadar, and there's some controversy that it was first offered to Govinda, but Anil Sharma has clarified that no, Govinda misunderstood. I was reading the script to him and I was not offering him because I was doing a movie with him. And I would love to work with Govinda in a heartbeat, but I never wanted to do Gadar with him. Now, this is a very complicated response because like first you're saying, oh, you would love to work with him. Then you're like, I definitely wouldn't have given this movie to him. But I kind of understand because Bikram, can you imagine Govinda in Gadar? Like, think about these dialogues. Let me just prepare myself to be Sunny Deol for a moment. अशरफ अली, तुम्हारा पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद है, इससे हमें कोई एतराज नहीं, मगर हमारा हिंदुस्तान जिंदाबाद है, जिंदाबाद था, जिंदाबाद रहेगा. So I can't imagine. I can imagine myself right now if Gadar 2 happens. Please, Anil Sharma, I hope this audition worked out very well. I will do even better. I will even fix my hair. Do whatever you want. You want me pagdi? You want? I'll wear this big pagdi also, and I will say the most jingoistic lines, most fascist lines, most nationalistic, patriotic. Like I will be bigger than Hitler. This is how good I will be. I don't know why this picture is already here because that was the next news. Did you have anything to add on this Gadar situation before we look at Aditya's tummy and then now his six-pack abs?
No, I was just thinking, I think he could have pulled the role, but the problem is he had to play a Sikh, and I think that would have not suited. Because I just remembered he did some.
He had the belly for it.
So yeah, I think I don't see anyone other than Sunny Deol being able to pull that off with the get-up and all that. So,
and he also pulled off the hand pump.
Hand pump, that I mean even Govinda has done all that, but yeah, it seems very unlikely. And just sticking with Gadar, I also read, because Gadar and Lagan released together, and so I just read that Karan Johar, and I just realized Karan Johar features a lot in our podcast. So Karan Johar actually advised Amir Khan to not do this movie. It will be the biggest mistake of his life. And
but then we advised Amir Khan not to listen to Karan Johar because it'll be the biggest mistake of his life, and listen to Blunt Bastard instead than this guy. Now you can put that picture back. That was Aditya Narayan. He's Udit Narayan's amazing son. On the left, he was like this is how he was. He looked like fluffing his tummy, and then I think few months later he's looked like completely jacked, ripped. Hrithik Roshan's shorter version of Hrithik Roshan, because this guy is like shorter than I am, and I'm like really short. I'm 5'7". This guy is probably like 4'1". So, but good on him. He sings very well. I've heard him sing in a very old movie which is called Pardes. He was a little kid there when I was still grown up, and after that he's been singing forever. Not in a movie, but always in his washroom where he's taking the pictures right now. All right. Now, he said, I'm feeling good. And that's how he speaks probably. Feeling good is important than looking good. You don't have to have a six-pack abs to be fit. But obviously, Aditya, you kind of waited for the six-pack ab to put the pictures on, right? So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because that's hypocritical. But then obviously we're from the same country, so we understand the hypocrisy. Then he goes on to say that we should use this time to upgrade ourselves and get healthier. Now, frankly, the only thing I have upgraded in my life is the McDonald's meals. From small to extra large. My mantra is fat is fab. People are like, why you don't even look fat? But don't worry, give me 6 months. I will be fatter than Aditya. But I'll not be able to put the other picture. So it'll be kind of weird. Like fat and then fatter. So it'll be like fat right now and then more fat. So Bikram, what are you going to remove from your life? What are you going to upgrade yourself? Or how you're inspired by Aditya Narayan's amazing singing talent because he sings right from his abs?
I actually, it's kind of funny when IPL started, this year's IPL, RCB had this channel where they were every day they would put out a video for your like for the abs. I think you would have seen it. I don't know. So I started doing it. So I started doing it, and they said, if you follow this for 60 days, you'll get abs. But then IPL didn't happen, and I didn't get abs. So I would really want IPL to restart again so that I can upgrade my belly, which I can't show here, to abs like Aditya Narayan. So,
yeah, we all saw your phone was ringing. All the fucking Zomato are bringing all the oily food to you. They're bringing it here, right? That's why your phone is switched on. Otherwise, why on earth during this podcast of Sunday Duel you have your phone on? There is no explanation for this thing. Even on ESPN, people don't do this kind of stuff. And Stevie always wants to have this, shepherd's pie. That's why his phone is on. Okay.
Hello.
All right.
After 15 minutes. Yeah, chicken biryani, chicken tandoori, and what? Kebab, yeah.
This is super embarrassing for this podcast. We are deeply ashamed of ourselves, but we'll continue to keep going because if we are deeply ashamed and we then, don't do it any further, then I don't know how it'll work because I'm at least 15 times deeply ashamed of myself every single day. All right. Moving on from the great this person, let's talk about somebody who's was fat. Now let's talk about Veer, the movie, another Salman Khan's great film, and this one had on the left and the right, both are the same people, but somewhere in the middle she was like, this the girl, he was Zareen, who looked like Katrina Kaif, and that's why Salman Khan cast her in this movie. I don't call her him, no him, Zar, they just her. So she had put on weight and a lot of people gave a lot of shit and there was a lot of trolling going on. Luckily it was 2011, so there was not so much Twitter trolling at that time. But again, she still got trolled and she said, well, I put on weight not because I was fatter. It's one of the well-wishers advised me to put on weight, which will be very good for my movie career. And she said that, but my well-wishers advice backfired and I was trolled badly for my weight. Okay, Bikram, I think it's time for me to come clean because I was the person, the well-wisher, and Zareen, talking to you directly, it was me who asked you to put on weight. I'm really sorry. Not really, because Katrina gave me 10,000 Pakistani rupees. I still have those Pakistani rupees because nobody's taking them. And nobody lets me into enter Pakistan because people like you, we don't want. You're the one who wants to work in movies like Gadar. We don't want you. We've seen you audition. So even Pakistan doesn't give me a visa, and India, we can't use Pakistani rupees. So I'm kind of stuck. So let me come out clean here. I told you your chances will be higher, but in Bollywood, or by the way, Bollywood, his name has changed right now. It's called Salman Wood. Okay. So stop calling it Bollywood anymore. Salman Wood. Salud. So I never thought you would believe me, but then you turned out to be really fucking stupid and started drinking ghee and butter. She was drinking ghee and butter from a funnel. Like that's how she was like so crazy to put on weight and by the gallon. And but the movie The Veer, I think the Veer, it just says Veer, but I think Wikipedia used to update this thing. The Veer, the movie where Bhai is the god, but then which movie is not the god, which is kind of confusing. But she's still the god. So that is a great movie, Bikram. If you not watched it 67 times, I've watched it 167 times. You should not be allowed to live. You watch it 167 times tonight before sleeping. Don't sleep at all. Just watch some insomnia kind of films and then watch Veer. It will not let you sleep. That's how amazing the movie is.
Right. Yeah. Agree. Yeah, I watched it. I vaguely remember Zareen Khan because all my focus is on Bhai. So yeah, I don't know. Could be anyone. I mean, I watched Lucky also, and I just remembered that there was Aishwarya Rai in it. But then when I searched in Wikipedia, there's someone called Sneha Ulal who looked like Aishwarya Rai. So yeah, I think this is one more talent of Bhai. He finds lookalikes of his exes. So yeah, good.
Fair enough. So we always concentrate on Bhai, and Bhai always concentrate on getting lookalikes in his Rajai. So that kind of works with Bhai. So Bhai takes women in his Rajai. Now let's move on to another person who has this big fat ass, who also takes people in her Rajai. That's Kim Kardashian, or some people call or Algerian genius, or some people in the stand-up comedy call the Algerian horse, family of Algerian horse, not Algerian, Albanian horse. But then obviously that's very derogatory. We will not say something like this. Then people are like, you already said it. But I was just saying that I will not say it. So there's a difference, okay? Just please be nice to me. I'm a nice person. Now she talked about her relationship with her estranged husband. Estranged just a fancy word for divorced husband. That she said that, listen, I realized that, I've turned 40 and I don't want a husband that lives in a completely different state. Now she said different state. So I wasn't really sure state as in because he's doing all that cocaine and stuff, or just different state like Pennsylvania or something. I don't know which one it is. And then she was also saying this is sad to me, but that's not what I want. I want somebody who works out with me. And I'm not sure works out in the gym or just whatever works out with you. But you're 40 years old. You married 3 times. You have 4 kids. This should have been brought to your attention 20 years ago. That what kind of person you. All these people you married. Married literally. Okay. These are a number of relationships I've had. I've never married any of them. I mean, they didn't want to marry me. That's a different thing. But I can always say I didn't marry them. Works both way, right? But you married these people and you had 16 zillion relationships and you still could not figure out. Only thing you could figure out is the person has to be taller than you. That's it. Alright, so Kanye is also gone. Now you have so many kids with you. You can figure it out. I think all you're trying to say is that somebody who works out with you, I'm ready to work out with you, Kim. And I love big fat asses. Bikram is also ready, but Bikram is already married and he has no choice but to stay with his wife. I'll come wherever the hell you are. So Bikram, I'll have to leave podcast if she calls me. If my phone rings right now, you know it's Kim. Alright, so hold your breath. Do you have anything to add on Kim's amazingness? With her kids, you want to adopt her kids?
Yeah, I think no, I think it's fair. I think that we have heard this before also, that long distance relationship doesn't work even in this digital world. And yeah, I think it took her 40 years to realize that. But yeah, definitely.
All right, fair enough.
Like Ronaldo, because Ronaldo was also doing ads for Coca Cola. We later found out, and then I think 38 years.
Oh, was he? Okay, fair enough. He's 36, but 38 years later, fair enough. You can add a couple of years to his age. He's not going to be very happy. He's going to troll us right after that. So we were talking about earlier about Kaho Na Pyar Hai, right? So this fat dude called Dabboo. I mean, the Dabboo, the name itself seems fat. Dabboo Ratnani, who is a photographer, very well-known photographer. He said, I shot Hrithik's first portfolio for before Kaho Na Pyar Hai. And he got the movie because of it, because his father Rakesh Roshan, he say his father, we don't know who his father is, only people we know is Dabboo Ratnani, right? So called me after the photo shoot, called him, not Hrithik. He said, now I'm taking Hrithik in my movie and making movie with my son, except the son who was living with him for the first 27 years of his life. He did not bother that, but the moment he saw his son from Dabboo's lens, he was like, ye banega hero. Except Hrithik Roshan himself, after the movie had said, because I'm that old, he has said that I've been asking my father for such a long time. Finally, I built my stuff and I did all the dancing things and he finally agreed. But no, Dabboo Ratnani will take all the credit that it was completely him. So we agree with Dabboo Ratnani. This is not. Yeah. But you know what, Dabboo Ratnani? After I said all this nonsense about you, about all this amazing thing, let me blow your cover. Let me tell the truth of you. 20 years ago, alongside Hrithik Roshan, you also made my portfolio. You took 20,000 rupees from me. I was a very poor person. I had to sell my father's and my mother's kidney just to get those 20,000 rupees. You know how hard that was for me? I had to sell my parents' kidneys. It was very hard for me. I mean, the money was very sweet. I in fact took 30,000 and 10,000 I spent on my food and everything. But yeah. So and then you said I'll become a superstar movie actor like Kishan Kumar, Gulshan Kumar's brother with a single bra, and Sonu Nigam. But what happened? I didn't get any of the amazing roles. All I got was shit roles for when they put pictures on the wall, this person is dead. Or I got all those action movie first scenes in Akshay Kumar movies where they shoot me in the very first scene and I die. Okay, I was acting with Nizamuddin Siddiqui in all these movies and nobody noticed me. As if Nizamuddin Siddiqui eventually became some actor. I am still sitting here, okay? It's been difficult. And I want my 20,000 back, Dabboo, because you're a liar. Okay, you're a liar. Because my father was not Rakesh Roshan, that's why I didn't get a movie. And his father was Rakesh Roshan, that's why I got the movie. Not because of you, Dabboo. Stop bullshitting people. It's like all the way. That you made Hrithik Roshan a superstar. So,
but that happens. Actually, this happened to me as well. I think
you got robbed by Dabboo?
No,
Duped by Dabboo?
not Dabboo. Like your father realizing that you are there after watching some photos. So actually, my father, I was making this podcast, right, and the quality was very shitty initially. So then he asked, "Who is this guy?" Say, my mother said, "Your son." I said, "Oh, okay." So we should help our son, right? So then he gifted me this iPhone. So I'm now.
Show off on the phone. What number is this? 15?
Yeah, it's 12.
Tim has just sent it, you just check it out.
So yeah, that happens. Right.
All right, fair enough. All right, we're moving on to our last news. This is the most cracking news that you'll ever hear. If you're ever the fans of Wachowski brothers, earlier Wachowski brothers, they made Matrix in 1999, and then 2003, a couple of other movies came out, number 2 and number 3. Matrix number 4 is coming this year in December. The name has not been decided yet, but all we know is Priyanka Chopra is in the movie. She is in some starring role, now directed by Lana Wachowski. That's the same person who had directed the first few Matrix movies, but that time her name was Lawrence Wachowski. She was a guy. Right now she's a woman, but she's still married to a woman, so she's still banging women. So I'm not sure, this is kind of weird lesbian fetish or anything, but now because they're all woke and everything, so they want to make sure that they have some people of color, we can say that. So Priyanka Chopra has been whatever the fuck, how do you pronounce that word? So I don't know, nobody knows what her role is, so I'm going to make a couple of guesses. I'm going to ask you, Bikram, what is your guess? My first guess is she'll be playing a fat Pakistani girl who falls in love with Neo, the tall Keanu Reeves. But Neo never notices her because she's so fat, like Zareen. And also because Neo is selectively racist and he only likes fat-ass girls from Bangladesh. He doesn't even like black fat-ass girls. He just like fat-ass girls. I mean, right now we can see a lot of cleavage, but he's not interested. He wants to see that stuff on the back, right here, on her tushy. Okay, that's what Keanu Reeves likes. Look at him, he's so innocent. He doesn't even sleep with his wife. He's just that innocent. That's the kind of person he is. Okay, the second role I'm guessing that she will be playing is a big-breasted Armenian stripper, just like Kim Kardashian, who becomes religious in the middle of a lap dance she's giving to Keanu Reeves. Now, at that time, Keanu Reeves is not interested. She just loses all her interest. Eventually, she becomes a Buddhist monk, and has sex change and changes her name to Gotham Buddha. Not Gotham, like the Dark Knight. Gotham, the Dark Knight. Right, okay. So, and falls in love with Morpheus. Now, I think this is a very good role for her. These are only 2 guesses. What do you think, Bikram, that she'll be playing in Matrix 4?
Yeah, I think she'll be playing the call center executive because that's what the Americans think that all Indians do. And
hello, this is Priyanka. How can I help you today? Should I help you enlarge your penis? Only for 199 rupees. That's what all the porn movies have told us. All the ads in the porn movies. Yeah.
So yeah, I think she'll be playing that because the movie is based around computers and everything. So I think she'll be a Indian call center person who goes out scamming people, because that's what again is very popular on the YouTube. You search for Indian scammers on YouTube, you'll find it. So yeah, I think that's what her role is. Yeah.
Alright, I also want a role like this in the call center in the Matrix number 5. Please take me. This is my audition. I'm giving so many audition on this podcast. What else can you do? Please give me a role. I've been waiting for 20 years because of Dabboo stole my 20,000 rupees. Okay, I had to sell my parents' kidneys, which was very difficult. Which wasn't really very difficult, but I have to say it's difficult. So I can come on Indian Idol and tell my sob stories. People love it if you're poor. Or even if you're not poor, you tell everybody you are poor, right? You had no legs. And then people are like, you have legs right now. But they're like, no, they grew up like, Michael Jackson style. You woke up and there was legs one day, Bhagwan and all. So all that stuff happens. All right, this is a very expensive long distance call. This is like 1997. So I have to disconnect the phone. Okay, bye, Papa. Okay, so now on that note, hopefully you enjoyed this long, boring podcast where you laughed and you almost lost your kidney because you were laughing so hard. and we will keep coming with this nonsense. Today, the cricket match was amazing. Not a single ball was bowled. Rain won the day. So we have 6 more days, 5 more days to go. This WTC final, we are guaranteeing you will not finish until they bowl a ball. This is played in Southampton. Who the fuck chose Southampton? What the hell is going on in this WTC final? England was just taking revenge because you could not get through England, Australia, South Africa. Everybody wanted to say, suck on this, bitches. We're not going to let you play, and this is what's going to happen. So they're just like all chilling. Not a single ball is bowled. They know what is going to happen in Southampton. They put it up there. This is probably the most funniest news of the day. So on that note, I'm Hardik Dixit. This is Bikram. He's also, I don't know, hard and all. But yeah, take care. Have a good evening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.